We are in full-blown playoff mode in the great state of New Jersey. We have county championships being handed out, county tournaments resuming, New Jersey state tournament games going on this week, getting underway, and we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more on this week's edition of Around the Diamond. I'm your host, Kevin Devaney Jr. This is the New Jersey edition of Around the Diamond, our weekly baseball show on MSGvarsity.com. And as always, we're going to bring in our expert, Gregg Lerner, via Skype right now to talk about, first we'll talk about some county stuff, but Greg, thanks for joining us from your home in Toms River. I know you were having a little fun just now with your Skype just now, but we're going to get a little serious now and talk some baseball. How's everything going?
Everything's good, buddy. How about you?
I'm doing great, We're getting ready to go here in New Jersey. I know the state tournament started on Monday, but let's rewind a little bit and talk about some county tournament stuff, mostly Roxbury. You look at how we've talked about so many teams losing and moving so much around in the rankings. They're the team they're the ones that's moving up. Are they one of the hottest teams in New Jersey right now?
They were. You know what? They win the Morris County tournament. Timmy Pilrun, who was spectacular, the MVP of that tournament. And then they played a couple primer games, those tweener games between county final and state tournament. One of them just so happened to be in Seton Hall Prep, who they lost to. Then they lost to Columbia. But since then, they've won 2 in a row, getting themselves going. So I won't penalize any. I'm not really going to penalize teams for dropping games in that tweener period between state tournament and county tournament.
I kind of eliminated those myself. A lot of younger
pitchers come up. You're not seeing maybe the same level of pitchers from different teams. So all bets are off where I come from in that regard. But Roxbury is very hot right now, and Kev, beyond Timmy Pilrun, who we've talked about on the show a lot, Nick Busby. I think the kid's 7-0 now for the Gales. And Kyle McCray and Joe Maggieri are really swinging bats very well. Sean Lydon starts a fire at the top of the Gales lineup. So to answer your question, yes, Roxbury is legit. They're built for the state tournament. So, they're hot right now. And
they have good pitching right now, and you were at the game, and they knocked off West Morris 3-1 in the Morris County Championship, and you caught up with a couple of their stars afterwards.
All right, we're here in the aftermath of the Morris County Tournament Final with two of the primetime players for the Gales. Timmy Pilrun, winning pitcher, 1 hitter, 9 strikeouts. I don't want to forget that. Andrew Boltz, the catcher, who will probably be an expert at telling us what went down with Timmy's performance tonight. But we'll start with Tim first. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I want to know what this last 10 days has been like. I know I asked you before, but I want to ask you again. What was these last 10 days like after a perfect game? How itching were you to get back on the mound?
It's been a little hectic. Everyone was fired up to play on Saturday, and then we found out that we were going to have to wait a little bit longer, and it's kind of a letdown. But we stayed positive. We knew we had a big conference game Monday against Mendham, and we had to come out and win that, and then get ready to play on Wednesday for the final.
So now Trot was telling me that I guess you did a bullpen before that Mendham game. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did.
How big was that to just get into the rhythm, the routine that you're usually used to doing?
Well, after 10 days, that's kind of a long break for someone not to throw and be in the rhythm that I'm used to all season. So that was a great call by Coach Trotter to have me simulate a start, not actually go out there, but simulate it and get the feel of getting ready for a game.
And then we'll turn over here to Andrew, who caught this game, a 1-hitter. What's it been like the last 2 games to sit back there and watch Timmy operate the way he has?
Well, Tim is so even-keeled, such a kid like that no matter what happens, he's going to come out with the same attitude, whether he's in the rhythm like he is or if he's got a break like that. So it's a good quality for a pitcher to have.
1 year ago, you guys were here.
Yeah.
And you dropped one to Randolph. I think, obviously, dropping a championship stings, but when you do it to your rival, it stings a little bit more. What's this last year been like, and how does this erase those bitter memories of a year ago?
It doesn't erase it, but it helps, But this whole year has been really just fighting to get back here, So now that we got it rolling and you get back here and you win, that's a great way to go out, as a senior.
No doubt about it. Can you talk about getting him a run in that first inning too, giving Timmy something to work with?
Oh, that's my job, You got to get out there, you got to swing it. So be able to open it up in the first inning and get a run across, it makes it way easier to play with a lead, More relaxed, everything. So.
No doubt about it. Well, there you have it, guys. From 2 of the heroes. Timmy Pilrun, Andrew Boltz. Final score, Roxbury 3, West Morris 1. Roxbury, the Morris County champions. 17 games in a row, guys. Pretty impressive. Going to carry that forward to the state tournament. It's Gregg Lerner for MSG Varsity.
And that was Gregg Lerner at the Roxbury win this past week, and great job with the interviews there. You know, Timmy Pole, as we said, you know, coming off the perfect game. Another guy who was coming off a big effort in his previous start was Matt Luttrell for Marist through a no-hitter. We talked about him in last week's show, and Marist kept the momentum going and finished the job, winning their county championship. Greg.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you showed video now. And I had a question for you. You watch me do those post-game videos. That's straight up amateur hour, by the way.
They were great.
I mean, every guy at MSC Varsity must cringe when they see me come on camera. To get back to your point on Marist, though, Matt Luttrell did not pitch on Saturday. It was actually A.J. Candelaria who got the start for Marist. But the point that you bring up is valid, Kev. Marist is pitching rich right now. Matt Luttrell, who's thrown a no-hitter this year. A.J. Candelaria was only a sophomore. And then Josh Witherspoon, who cleans up on Saturday to win the Hudson County Tournament, comes in relief. Kev, there was a moment midway through that game, still a tight game. St. Peter's Prep is threatening. And Josh Witherspoon gets a strikeout to end the inning. And, you know, you talk to Ron Hayward, and he'll tell you, Josh is not that guy. He's not that emotional sort of guy who lets off some steam. But he let out a roar that you could tell in that moment was going to be infectious for the Royal Knights. And then, in the ensuing inning, Tyler Cruz. Listen, when you play at Conference Stadium at Cavens Point, it's a football field. So the fences are forever away. And like I said in the story, Tyler Cruz, it's a line drive in the gap, and the ball was closer to the Freedom Tower than it was the home plate. And that's good news for Tyler Cruz, because one thing he does do is cruise, man. He can fly. Inside the park home run, it's the difference in the game. Marist wins 3-2, second time this year they beat St. Peter's Prep.
Well, nice win there for Marist, winning the county championship. You know, quickly, some people don't understand this, and I guess I'm one of them. You play the county tournaments. In Bergen, for example, they played on Saturday quarterfinals, and they take a break for the state tournament. Is that kind of the way things go in New Jersey?
It's interesting because it's done differently in different areas.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, some will get it out of the way quickly, okay? Like, Union County's been done for 2 weeks now, probably. Okay. But a lot of them spread it out over the weekends. I'll tell you what, I'll never knock the Bergen County Tour for how you do it for one reason, Kev. The place is jam-packed for the semifinals and the finals. And when you think about it, like, I'll be at Denver probably on Saturday. There'll be a full house there. It'll be loaded. And then on Sunday, they'll come back at 2 o'clock. Now, most people in North Jersey come down here for Memorial Day.
Yeah, you're in town down the shore, yeah.
Right? But the baseball fans stay because that's how quality those games are. So some spread it out, some try and condense it, but it's a juggling act. And here's the best one. Shore Conference, okay? So you have inside the Shore Conference, which is going on now. Then the Shore Conference is comprised of Monmouth County and Ocean County. Both of those counties have their own tournaments. So it's sometimes, this year not being the case, they're both done, but there have been prior seasons where 3 tournaments are in play at once. So you want to talk about juggling pitching and trying to figure out which basket you're going to put your eggs into. Very tricky.
Interesting. Well, this the non-public state tournament gets started this week in New Jersey. Give me a little bit of a breakdown right now, going into the playoffs, because baseball is all about being hot at the right time. Going to the non-public tournament, who stands out right now heading in?
In North Jersey A, how about this one, Kev? Everybody. Yeah. Okay? Seton Hall Prep, Bergen Catholic, Don Bosco.
Yeah.
St. Joe's, St. Peter's Prep. I mean, it's endless.
It sounds like our top 20 poll, yeah.
DePaul, who's the team that, you know, beat Don Bosco this week. That when we did the live chat on Sunday, that might have been the question that was most repeated amongst the people that were involved. You know, what's your take on North Jersey non-public A? The deep field, it's going to lead to some great games. That starts tomorrow. All the non-publics, well, not all the non-publics, but the non-public tournaments themselves start tomorrow. A lot of buys in North Jersey A. North Jersey B, Morris Catholic, Morristown Beer, St. Mary's of Rutherford, who's been on fire. And then, you know, and in South Jersey, you know, Kev, the true South Jersey in New Jersey is the deeper South Jerseys, where Gloucester Catholic and St. Augustine and Bishop Eustace all reside. And if you take the temperature of people that know the state of New Jersey for baseball, they're going to tell you that one of those 3 teams is the favorite to win, South Jersey A. But for me, that takes pressure off, like a CBA or an RBC or a Vianney, because or St. Joe's Metuchen, because they might not be anticipated or expected to win because those teams down south are perceived to be juggernauts. So the non-publics are always a great source of discussion because there's so much interest in them. But the entire state tournament really kicked off on Monday, and man, we had some things to talk about in that regard, didn't we?
We definitely did. Old Japan being one of them, another team that's hot right now in Northern Jersey.
Old Japan, very hot. Again, we had talked about it last week. They're playing Pascagoula Guy, who had beaten them twice in the Bergen County tournament. However, the Indians hadn't seen John O'Reilly yet, and he pitches. Old Japan gets the win. They start out in North Jersey, Group 3, North 1, Group 3. They get a win there. So, I mean, right now, this is the thing, Kev. When I saw them earlier in the season, they lost to Bergen Catholic. And I'm talking to Timmy Byron after the game. He pulls me aside, and he says, listen, man, don't count us out in the end, okay? Don't count us out in the end. So I'll trust Timmy's word because he's a baseball guy who's been around forever. He knows the game inside out. I think there were some issues that Old Japan had to correct. We've talked about the defense in the past. You notice in the box scores, they're not giving up a whole heck of a lot of runs, which means they probably tightened up defensively, which could have been the turning point for them. But here they are. They're playing in the semifinals of the Bergen County tournament on Saturday. Still alive tomorrow in the state tournament. So Old Japan is very dangerous right now, no doubt about it. 1-0
win over Northern Highlands in the first round. And the star of the game was Tim Moravsky, an RBI double in the second inning. But he really became a rock star in the state of New Jersey, really in the tri-state area this week, for something that he pulled off. Promposals, and you know, thank God this wasn't like this when we were in school. This would have been tough for us, but promposal, you got to outdo the next guy to ask your girl or the girl you want to take to the prom, and you have to go above and beyond. I've seen so many things. I've actually been a part of some of these promposals. A girl had me ask her boyfriend on Twitter to the prom. But Tim Moravsky stole the show this week. He won the promposals, and he used a good friend of his by the name of Mike Trout. Now, Mike Trout, the star of the Anaheim Angels, the Los Angeles Angels, you know, he got a few Twitter followers, 447,000 Twitter followers. You know, maybe the best player in baseball. Well, Mike Trout, for his friend Tim Moravsky, asked his girlfriend to the prom, Emily Carasciola. Says, hey, Emily Carasciola, your boy Tim Moravsky is too shy to ask you, so I thought I would help him out. Will you go to the prom with him? So how could you possibly say no to this? Emily Carasciola did not. She says, yes, OMG, 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 yes. And so there you have it. Mike Trout helping out a kid who's, you got a little Mike Trout in him in New Jersey and in baseball. As we said, RBI double and a 1-0 win. So a tremendous job by Mike Trout to help him out. Pretty cool story there, wasn't it?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and you left out the most important point, okay? And I'm disappointed in you. Mike Trout, Jersey boy.
I know, yeah.
Make sure we remember that. Millville, he's a Jersey product, Jersey proud.
Hey, that was, and he's, right now, he's the best, I think you gotta say he's the best player in baseball right now. Definitely the best hitter in baseball in the way he's been going. So it was a cool thing. Tim Moravsky got a little national attention, got some national websites and a lot of things. I've won on his Twitter page. He's definitely enjoying it. So congratulations to him and enjoy the prom. So now we move on. See, you know, this happens and people warn you about baseball being a one and done. In Long Island, they have the best of 3 series. But 16 seed beating a 1 once is amazing. Happened 3 times on Monday. And were you shocked to see some of these results?
Kev, you know what? I don't want to sound like I'm brushing it off, but I'm not. And you can appreciate it, and baseball fans can appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to give you this. I went to a game the other night, just casually, just to go watch in Town River. And I walk up, and a friend of mine sees me and goes, hey, any upsets today? And I said, you know what, man? There really aren't upsets in baseball because you're only as good as your next day's pitcher.
Yeah.
So, you know, Bergen Tech knocking off Wayne Valley. Wayne Valley was the 1 seed in North 1, Group 4. Yeah, that's a huge win. Mollington, you know, beating Woodridge in Group 1 in North Jersey.
The Hunter and Central, though, had to jump out to you.
You just took the words out of my mouth. That was the one that caught me because I really felt, and I still do, that Hunter and Central was one of the best teams in New Jersey. But here's the catch, because this one wasn't done by a team that dropped a hammer on top of them on the mound. Okay, that said, Pete Soborowski, who we're going to see in the hot list, okay, he gets the win. But the dangerous thing about Sayreville is that they can swing the bats.
Yeah.
Okay? They've got a lineup that's dangerous. And again, they're a GMC Red Division team, or GMC team that sees very good competition throughout the course of the season. I think it builds their confidence a little bit. And here's the other thing too. You know, when you're the 16th seed, most people, besides those in your dugout, don't expect to see you beyond the first day of the tournament. So if I'm on Sayreville or Bergen Tech or Wallington, I'm probably walking in the dugout, hey, let's go, guys, let's get after this, because nobody thinks we're winning this game. And then when you do, you're on cloud nine, you're on the top of the world, and you build a little bit of momentum at the time of the season where momentum is king.
Excellent job. Well, Greg, before we get to the hot list, where are you headed this week? You said you're going to county tournaments on Saturday. Where are you heading later this week?
Well, as soon as I log off of here, I'll be heading up to Lincroft to watch CBA and Central Regional in the short conference quarterfinals. Kev, if projections are correct, we're going to see Andrew D. Piazza from Central Regional, who's heading to Alabama, against Luca Delatri, the sophomore from CBA. You want to talk about a diesel pitching matchup? That game is that. Well, tomorrow I'm up in the air yet on state tournament games. I got a couple on the radar that I've been looking at. Allentown Steinert, I wanted to give some Mercer County love out because I haven't been down there yet, so they're going after each other in Central Jersey Group 3. And then the plan is to be at Demorest for the weekend. Saturday for the Bergen County semis, and perhaps back there again on Sunday for the finals, you know. So I'll be well, everybody's coming down here. I'll see all the beach chairs and all the suntan lotion, all the bennies, as we like to call them down here in South Jersey. No offense to you guys, I love you. But I'll be heading north. I'll be the anti-Benny heading up north to watch some baseball. But it's all good in the hood, babe. All
right, good. Before I let you go, the hot list this week. Some of the top performers in a very active week right now. Paul Rufo getting things going with the stick for Cedar Grove. How well has he been playing of late?
Oh, Kev, let me tell you. People better be paying attention to Cedar Grove right now, because I'll tell you who is. Seton Hall Prep. They took them to the wire in the Greater Newark Tournament final over the weekend. Lost 7-6 to Seton Hall. Cedar Grove. I picked Compton Lakes to win that section, but Cedar Grove is legit. Yeah, and so's Paul Rufo.
And Nick Matera of Morris Catholic, last 3 games, 6 for 11. And Peter Soporowski, sophomore left-handed pitcher, he's been pitching well of late. Started 0-3. He's won 3 of his last 4 starts. Greg, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Hey, happy Memorial Day. Be safe.
Thanks, buddy. And now on to our TriState Pole. One of my favorite things to do each week with the TriState Pole, I go into the control room and I give the guys a poll, and usually Russ, Brian, or Bob, one of them says, "Is this right? Is this right in this poll?" There's so much movement in this TriState baseball poll every single week that it looks like it's wrong, but no, trust me, it's right. And we're going to dive right into the poll right now. Our top 20 poll, and we're going to start at the bottom. A team entering the poll this week is Staples, knocking on the door really for the last 2 weeks. Got a marquee win on Monday, beating West Hill. They've won 10 games in a row in Connecticut, sitting atop the FCX standings at 16-3 overall, 15-2 in the league. Number 19, Ward Melville. They were cruising along. They dropped 12 spots when they lost 1-0 to Hills West in the Suffolk Class AA semis this week. They're kind of hanging in there, hoping to win a Suffolk County championship. Number 18, now this is where a team really plummeted. 15 spots, St. Peter's Prep. They lost to number 9, Marist, 3-2 on Saturday in the Hudson County Tournament Final, despite a 5-hitter from Antonio Velarde, who struck out 5 along the way. Our number 17 team is Long Island, that being Division, the Class A favorites in a Nassau County Championship, and James Valera, game-winning single in a win this week for Division. And number 16 team is Sachem North, 18-3 overall. Michael Donald swinging the bat really well, so is Stephen Foster. They knocked off Smithtown West 5-3. They're kind of clinging to a county championship. Now we move on to the next teams in the poll. Number 15, Marist, coming off a county championship in the Hudson County Final. The Bayonne Bunch. Pitching rich, Matt Luttrell, Josh Witherspoon combined 12-2 on the year. The team is 21-6 overall. Number 14, a team whose season is, at least a state championship berth is over, that being Hunterdon Central, dropping 4 spots, 21-4. Gregg Lerner says they still are really one of the top teams in New Jersey, if not the Tri-State, as we see them, number 14 team, but their quest for a state championship is over as they lost as a number 1 seed to number 16 in the opening round. A number 13 team, Hills West, from Long Island, 19-3. Dramatics, they're getting pitching, great pitching from Aaron Glickstein right now. Struck out 12 in the win over Ward Melville in the Suffolk AA semifinals. Hills West could be a dark horse. Not really a dark horse, but I guess a would be a little bit surprised if they won a Suffolk County championship. Number 12 team in the poll from New Jersey is Westfield, not ranked last week, 16-3 overall, and they are cruising along right now behind Anthony Perconte, the senior outfielder. And our number 11 team is a team that also drops out of the top 5, that being Ketchum of Section 1. They go from 4 to 11. They lost to Beacon on Saturday night. Still the number 1 team in the Section 1 Class AA playoffs, which get underway fully on Thursday. Now we go to the top 10. And in our top 10 right now is Don Bosco, riding the wave of finally beating Bergen Catholic. 2 close games in the regular season, both losses. They beat him in the Bergen County quarterfinals on Saturday. They're 13-6 overall, move up 2 spots. Number 9, also in New Jersey, that's Indian Hills, 19-2-1 on the season. AJ LaPresti, Brett Wilkes, Serafino Brito. The pitching has been so good all season long. Those guys are 16-1 combined for the 19-2-1 Indian Hills squad. Number 8 team is Fairfield Prep, the top team in Connecticut right now. Really getting things geared up for a Class XXL state title run with ace Kevin Stone, who's been lights out all season long. Number 7, a Class A team in Section 1, that is Beacon. You beat number 4 team Ketchum, you're going to move up in the poll. They move up 4 spots. They can start their quest for a Class A championship in Section 1 this week. Number 6 is Roxbury, one of the hottest teams in New Jersey. Lost 2 games this week, 2 kind of in between post-county tournament, really regular state tournament tune-ups. No shame there, 20-7 overall. Timmy Pole continues to be awesome on the mound for Roxbury. Now our top 5 teams. Poly Prep is our number 5 team. They are 1 win away from a Independent State Championship. Got to beat Rye Country Day on Wednesday at Manhattanville College to do that. Our number 4 team is Chaminade from Long Island, and they move on to the Catholic Championship in Long Island over the weekend. They are the number 4 team. Number 3 is Bergen Catholic. Even with that loss, we're not going to drop them out of the poll. They're dropping only 1 spot. They still are one of the top 3 teams. They are number 3 in the TriState Pole right now, 19-4. Number 2, St. Joseph Regional, going to move up 3 spots. With the way they played of late, 7-0 win over Marist on Monday. And then you have our number 1 team. They've been there from the beginning, that being Seton Hall Prep, 25-2, the number 1 seed, although Gregg Lerner hinted Cedar Grove could give Seton Hall Prep something to think about as we get going in the New Jersey State Tournament. So state tournament's getting started in New Jersey. We have county championships going to wrap up there as well. We're going to crown Long Island champions next week. We're going to hand out Section 1, Section 9 titles, FCX champions, and I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll hope to see you next week on Around the Diamond. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to our guys in the control room, Eddie, our producer, for everything they do, and we'll see you next week on Around the Diamond.